Hi everyone. I will be doing my persuasive speech on my son Tamir. When my son was born 7 weeks premature, he had developed something called extropia, a weak nerve in his eyes, and at the age of 1, he did have surgery. The surgery was successful, but throughout the years, he's now 7. He knows that his right eye is stronger than his left eye. So anytime he's reading a book or he's on his tablet, he would always turn his head like this to the right, and he turns it back, and his brain automatically knows that his right eye is stronger than his left eye. So my way to persuade him to use both of his eyes, I would tell him, Tamir, anytime you're reading or on your tablet, if mommy sees you using both your eyes, I will either give you a Hot Wheel car or I will give you $1, whichever one he chooses. He likes to spend money and he loves Hot Wheel cars. And I don't say anything to him throughout the day or as days go by, but he loves to get on his tablet or read. So whenever I see him on the tablet or if I see him reading, if I see him going slight to the right like this, he doesn't get a treat for that day. And I tell him, Tamir, in order for you to get a Hot Wheel car or $1, you will have to use both your eyes. You will have to learn to focus using both of your eyes. He was like, okay, mommy. He said, I'll try. So as more days went by, I can see that he was reading, and on his tablet, I could see that he was focusing more with his eyes, with both eyes. And his doctor said that the brain automatically knows that his right eye is weaker, and sometimes he may even do it without knowing it. And sometimes he does do it without even knowing, that he turns his head slight to the right to use his right eye more than his left eye. And as days go by, even in school, I would let his teacher know what I'm doing to try to persuade him to use both of his eyes. And so if she informs me for that day, as he's reading or doing anything in class, if he's focusing with both of his eyes, then that day I would treat him to either a Hot Wheel car or I would give him $1, whichever one he chooses for that day. But throughout his 7 years, it's been kind of challenging with trying to get him to use both of his eyes because he always tell me that he can see better with his right eye than his left eye. And I told him, I said, well, you're going to have to use both of your eyes. You're going to have to learn to focus to use, using both your eyes. So that's my way to persuade him to use both of his eyes. And so far, he's been using both of his eyes. And even if he goes to his grandparents' house, I tell my mom, let me know if he uses both his eyes. And if he uses both of his eyes for that day, I would then, have him a treat, or she would give him either a Hot Wheel car or $1, and learn to use both of his eyes. But with extropia, the surgery, it didn't last long, but he may have to have another surgery. But I'm hoping and praying that he doesn't have to have another surgery, but he may, because he's still even though he's learning each day to use both eyes, one eye, is still weaker than the other eye. So I'm still, teaching him to make sure anytime you're reading or on your tablet that you use both your eyes. And so far, he has a lot of Hot Wheel cars and he has a lot of money, you know, from using, both of his eyes. And it's very challenging, like I said. And sometimes I would either cover up his stronger eye to make him use his weaker eye more, and he doesn't like that. He was like, Mama, I'll use both my eyes. I'll use both my eyes. So whenever I see him not focusing or anything like that, I will cover up his stronger eye to make him use his weaker eye more. But like I said, it's been very challenging. But he's learning to use both his eyes very well, and I hope he continues. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you.